Is this a cult?
Did I not get beaten up? It says, oh yeah, take off your pants.
Ooh, this is a person that preaches to you, teachings and everything.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, take off your pants.
Oh yeah, lie down. When he's done with you, he's going to take a cloth, he's going to wipe out. No protection used. He's going to wipe out his semen, put it in a bag. Once you miss your period and you're pregnant, then you're introduced to the underground clinic. They will take you to lie on the bed. They'll put this thing up. They put your legs up like this. And then they will just take something and into you and crack, 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 crack. My son's like, Ma, TK wants you. I'm like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
TK, I'm like, TK, come. So now by this time, my daughter's crawling, but she's crawling on her side. Like, TK, wake up. TK, wake up. As soon as you left, your daughter started bleeding through the ears, through the nose, through the mouth.
I've been through the most. Been through the most.
Hola, Sen fam. Welcome to yet another episode of I've Been Through the Most podcast, right here on Centtwinz TV. Now, whether you're watching us on YouTube, listening to us on Spotify, or Apple Podcast, welcome. It's your favorite twins, of course, Innocent and Millicent, the Centtwinz.
We never introduced ourselves. Do you know that?
I know.
So
That is so weird. Even you just saying that is just so weird. We are also available on our different social media platforms. Please go ahead and follow us there. Of course, the promos are there and exclusively posted for you. Go and share and like, and of course, leave a comment on this episode. Like Millie said, Spotify podcast, we are there while you're driving to work or driving back. Make sure that you are tuned in and listening there as well. If you want to share your story, of course, we are available on email. The email address is down below if you want to sit on the hot seat. But the hot seat today is carrying a hot mama.
Yes.
Whom I've been wanting to come on the podcast.
It's been
I've
years.
heard her different stories on different platforms, you know, on international platforms. And I'm like, one day is one day.
And that one
And that day is today. We have Sihle Sibisi here. She's a presenter. She is a producer. She's everything. Actually, you are multi-talented and now a semi-finalist that you want to tell us a lot about today.
Yes.
And of course, in her fabulosity, she has gone through the most. But she lives to tell her story and her testimony. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Finally, girl. When you started talking to Eno on text, I said, wait, is this Sihle that we've been wanting? This is our opportunity. Yeah, she was like the. I'm like, yes, the Sihle Sibisi.
Yes.
The one. Yeah. But for those who don't know who you are, can you just give us a background of who you are, where you are from, you know, and when we were first introduced to who you are?
So, Sihle Sibisi is my name. Mahlase ngubhovungane. Thiwa thina singomlilo bafethu bathi yazibasela siyiqishele. Bese bathi uthandayo kahlase funa yacephule kodwa kumele ashiyele abanye. Uma ngeke uqede ubhovungane. You know, I could go on and on and on. The love of my Zuluness, my father's surname, because Sibisi is my maiden surname.
Yes.
I'm a girl, firstly, and then I'm a mom to two beautiful kids. I currently run a foundation called Kwanele Foundation, which is an NPO that advocates and stands against gender-based violence and femicide holistically.
Yes.
And I also run a foundation that was birthed after my daughter's promotional post. So my daughter got a promotional post to heaven. And on the 11th of January 2024, she got a so as I sit with you today, it's like 1 year, 2 months. Wow. So she was 10 years old. So she got a promotional post, and that's her picture right there. And that's her bag. Yeah, she got a promotional post to heaven on the 11th of January 2024. And then I've got a son, very handsome. Joe, guys, my son. Like, you know, I can't wait for the day when he says, I need to take Indwendwe. Like, I think I'll be the best mother-in-law.
Really?
Like, Mamela, you know, because I'm just that mom. So he's currently in high school. He's in grade 9. And as I said, I birthed the khanyisile Pediatric Foundation for brain aneurysm awareness, because my daughter's cause of death was she had a ruptured brain aneurysm. And then besides that, Kwanele Foundation works with the Pan-African Parliament. So I travel a lot, guys. Like, passport, epela, like all the time.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, I was in Namibia, then Botswana, then Zambia. I'm traveling all the time. Yeah, because my Kwanele Foundation's objective within the Pan-African Parliament is to make sure that we educate, amplify, and strive for a gender-based violence and femicide-free Africa for all. Sure. And then I'm a TV host for 2 shows called Fake Marriages and Fake Pastors.
Why? You are so hectic on those shows. I'm just like, girl, you didn't.
And I always laugh because I never auditioned. I've never been to an
Do
audition.
you need to audition for that? I think they must have seen one of your crazy clips. They're like, we found the person
Yes.
you're looking for.
There was a time when I was trending, when my my personal life was trending, and then I got a call saying, "Hi, are you Sihle?" I'm like, "Yes." They're like, Mojala wants to see you. I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Just come." And I went there, and they said to me, "We've got a show, Fake Marriages." I'm like, "And so, they're like, you can do it." I'm like, "Me?" They're like, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, what must I do?" Then they
That
said,
show is so you.
Then they said screen test. Ne? And I stood up and I said, "Okay, screen test." I said, "No, stand behind the screen."
Yeah.
Then I went and I stood. Then they said, "Say something."
Yeah.
And I said, "Say something." And they said, "You got the job." That's what. Kid you not. And then the next Monday, I was shooting.
You're on set.
And this was in September 2023. And
No way.
when I was trending and the whole world was saying, hey, lona unempandla, une-headline eqala lana, hey, movie, unjani. When I was trending and women were bashing me, women were calling me all names, Moja Love saw gold in this mud.
Come on.
And that's when I was like, I actually prakod you live. Actually, there's beauty in brokenness, because in my brokenness, they saw a thread of gold that they needed to take.
And you're still there today.
And at that time, or 2023, I get home and I tell my daughter and my son, and I'm like, guys, I'm going to be on TV. My daughter was the happiest. So my son is an introvert. But my daughter, I think I used to see myself in her.
Was she like, mommy?
Exactly. Like, exactly. She was a pageant queen.
No way.
And she was a public speaker. She was a swimmer. She was academically excellent. She was an extrovert on all that. She was the only one that could call me to order. She was like, "Mommy, don't swear. Mommy, stop it. Mommy, don't." Like, she's the only one that could like call me to order. But as I was saying, so I start shooting at Moja Love, and I go with my daughter, I think a few times. She was just because she was fascinated with makeup. Yeah. So she loved it, and she saw, and she was like, "Yo, mommy's doing this." Not knowing, very soon, my daughter is going on a promotional post. Because this is September 2023. So I start shooting September 2023, September, October, November. December, my daughter is turning 10 years old. She was born on Christmas. Yeah, really? Christmas baby. Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
On the 25th?
25th
So
of
she's a
Christmas.
special baby.
Mamela.
What are the chances?
Mamela. And this year, when she was turning 10, she insisted that all her cousins, the whole family must come to her house, and because she knew that it's a public holiday the next day, everyone must sleep over. And I'm like, TK, because her name Kitepang khanyisile, so we called her TK. I'm like, TK, where are they going to sleep? She's like, Mommy, I'm on the 2-digit level now.
Ooh,
like, so everyone must be here. Can I tell you?
Lord.
My house was full on Christmas Day 2023. It was full. The night before, the Christmas Day, and the next day, and the next day. I remember abanye bebalala on, I don't know, people slept on the floor, in the kitchen, I don't know, but it was full. So all the cousins and everybody was there. So she was excited. And she was like, I'm turning 10, double digit. So I had to sing for her. We just had the best birthday ever. Yeah. Not knowing that little girl is already signing a contract with God saying, I'm coming home soon.
Sure.
So her birthday happened. The cousins were there. 26. Happy New Year. We were together with her and we were with family on Happy New Year. And then January hits. Now she's excited that I'm going to grade 5. Now I'm a big girl. Jay. I'm no longer in the
chosen my
junior phase.
subjects
I'm
now.
no longer in a junior phase. Now I'm senior phase. So January comes and now this is the strangest part. When January came, from December and January, she would, 1 week she's sleeping with me in my bedroom. The next week I'm asleep with her in her bedroom. So I'm like, why are you doing this? She's like, no, we girls. Like girls, we need time together, So she would jump, like I'd be sleeping and I'd literally feel her in my bed. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, no, I just want to see. And she was an affirmer. She would always say, Mommy, I love you. Mommy, you're beautiful. Mommy, doing this. And then on the 8th of January, the BBC documentary dropped. The one on TB Joshua.
Yes.
So I'm on the BBC documentary and I'm on episode 2 and 3. But before the documentary dropped, I had to sit down with my kids, with the therapist. I'm grateful I'm grateful to the BBC team. I'm grateful to the BBC team where I had to explain to my kids my childhood trauma about church hurt. I had to make them understand how it started and what's happened and what's going to be seen on TV. And so BBC offered therapy for that.
Wow. Love it.
So on the 8th, the documentary, so on the 7th, the BBC comes to our house. So they're at home with, no. In fact, I think a week before that, they make us see the preview.
Oh.
Yeah. So my kids and I got to see the preview of what's to come.
So they know what you
So
went
my
through.
kids, hectically. So my daughter was the one that would say, Mommy, I still love you through it all, And so, not that my son did not say the same, but my son is an introvert.
I hear
my
you.
son is more of he's a toucher. His love language is touching. So he hugs.
He's affectionate.
He's very affectionate. So on the 7th, the BBC sent a therapist from South Africa, and they flew in one of the people from New York or USA, and they were at my house because it was dropping at midnight. So they wanted to make sure that when it drops, if anything spirals out, the therapist is there.
No way.
Yeah. So we were there, and I remember I had my friend Palisa who came. She was with us, and we sat in the house. And when the documentary dropped, my kids never slept. We watched the whole entire documentary. And when we're watching, that's when the emotions in me, now I was provoked.
Yeah.
Now I was triggered. And why am I provoked and triggered? Because before it dropped, we were flown to the US for a reunion. So for the first time, everyone on the documentary, we saw each other. We saw each other for the first time. I never knew, they never knew that they were interviewing me. I never knew they were interviewing them. Yes. So BBC 2021, 2022, they were in South Africa doing research, interviewing me.
They're doing it like everywhere in the world.
Yes. So we never knew who was being interviewed.
No one was influenced in their story.
No.
So you were telling your story authentically.
As I was.
Exactly.
And what captivated, and when we had the reunion, one thing they said to us at BBC was the fact that what Sihle said in South Africa and what someone said in Singapore, what someone said in Nigeria, it all correlated. That's what gave them goosebumps to say, this is the truth. These people went through this.
How did that affect you? Sorry. How did that
Yes.
affect you? Because a lot of people obviously didn't believe you. They thought you're making it up. You know when there's let me call it mega churches.
Yeah.
Mega churches with pastors, they idolize these men of God. They literally, anything they say goes. They can never do anything wrong in their eyes. So here comes Sihle, bubbly as you are, and you're like, listen, this man did this to me.
Yes.
Everybody turns on you because they're like, you trying to,
you're sleeping with all the pastors when you are this. Let me tell you this. If you could go back to archives before Facebook was famous, I used to talk about the pastor, the so-called prophet in Johannesburg. His name is Philip Banda, and he runs a church called Impact for Christ Ministries. He's a spiritual son to TB Joshua.
Yeah.
So from Johannesburg, I was kept in his mission house. So I would travel from Mission House to school and back. But at Mission House, it was only beautiful girls that stayed there. And he would pick you up and say, you're born of the world, but you're not of the world. But the criteria for you to stay there, you must go for an HIV test. So, no. He at that time, he's a prophet. He would say, if you've got HIV, he will pray for you, you'll get healed.
Okay.
So if we had to go to Hillbrow Clinic right now, if it's still in existence, my files are there. Kanti not knowing Muruti, not knowing that the pastor is just looking who I can devour here. So the grooming started from South Africa. Do you understand? So by the time I went to Nigeria, now when we get to Nigeria, I never knew I was not coming back. Do you understand? I never knew, because I went once and never came back.
It was done.
It was just done. Same modus operandi, just on a higher level that side. So when I started talking about the church hurt, I used to write about it on Facebook back in the days, and I used to call Philip Banda Mr. Bean because I was afraid to say his name. So I would say, Mr. Bean used to do this to the girls. This is what we saw. This is what happened. And blah, 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 blah. But then when I went to synagogue, and when I came back, when I finally escaped, because most people are like, how did you escape? I'm like, hey, guys, we would travel the world. He would have crusades in Mexico, in Singapore, wherever. So now remember, he grooms you first. But grooming you is lack of sleep. You sleep deprived. You don't sleep unless daddy is sleeping. You call him daddy. If you're punished, it's either you're deprived of food, or you're beaten up, or you are taken to the car park. You stay in the car park. I've stayed in the car park for months.
What for?
Because if you don't toe the line, for example, if I see, for example, I come to you and I say, I miss home, or I saw daddy, or I saw daddy slap somebody. Remember, every night there was a disciple meeting, and that's the report system. So on that night,
someone can tell on you.
Prophet, daddy would say, right, any reports? Then someone will pick up a hand and they'll say, Daddy, Sister Sihle. Today, Sister Sihle came to me and she said to me that she saw you doing A, B, C, D. Then TB Joshua will bang the desk and say, abomination. Do you believe her? So everybody is against you now.
At that moment,
they're all believing him. And they were like, Daddy, she's lying. You can never. And he'll say, she's full of lust, spirit of lust. And then you would either be slapped, beaten up, or you would be isolated. If you're not isolated to the car park, you're isolated to a room where you will not be given food. You will stay there. So he was working on your brain. So as a result, whatever happened, you now knew that I can't tell anybody. Because if I tell anybody anything, if the reporting happens,
but that kills you also.
It killed you. Yes. Like, I feel my youth was stolen from me. And that is why I use my maiden surname deliberately, because I'm fetching my youth back to me. Do you understand? So I felt I was never given the chance to be a naughty child, to be a youth, to play, to date and be dumped and whatever. I was just thrown into the church, and then the next thing I'm in Nigeria, and then the next thing I'm submissive to this daddy. Because remember, being close to the man of God. Now, what people don't know is you admire what you see in him, but us inside, we are dead inside. But then we walk around with books, and then you must cram these spiritual notes. You must cram the language. When you arrive, we say, Emmanuel, how are you? God is with us. When you come to synagogue, our greeting is Emmanuel, which means God is with us. So we have the language, we know how to behave, we know how to do whatever, but you're killed within yourself. And when people ask me, how did you escape? I remember there was a time when, because at that time, TB Joshua he wanted white people. White people started coming, and he wanted celebrities. But his target was South Africa also. So at that time, I remember he invited Joyous Celebration to come to Nigeria. And I'm a South African girl. So when I saw Joyous Celebration, I'm a fan, I'm a groupie. And I ran to them, I'm like, yo! And I'm like, yo, and I'm like,
a piece of home
is here. And then I started talking to them. And then I remember Jabu Hlongwane turned around and said, ukhuluma isiZulu? And I'm like, yes, I can speak Zulu.
Yes.
He says, where do you come from? I'm like, I'm from South Africa. He says, what are you doing here? I couldn't answer him. And then he says, your parents don't love you for them to bring you here. But when he said that,
something.
I look at him and then something went boom. I want to go home.
Because I actually wanted to ask the same question, like, what are you doing there?
Yeah. And
are you working? Like, what's
I
the
was
reason?
I was in the choir. I sing. I'm a worshiper.
Okay.
But I feel being in that environment, church hurt, they stole my worship. They called it the chorister, you know? And if I'm not in the chorister, I was working in the admin department.
Okay.
Admin department, if you're not in the admin department, but whether you have a job or not, you must always be busy. You can never be found sitting down.
No.
You must always be on your feet. You understand?
You hardly slept.
So you hardly slept. So what happened on that day? Some disciples saw me hugging, being a groupie to joyous celebration, being excited. At night, reporting.
You paid for it.
Daddy, you know, Sister Sihle, the visitors that are here for your birthday, because TB Joshua had invited them just to sing on his birthday. So he paid them. So for them, it was work.
Yes,
Not that they
it's a
believed in TB
gig.
Joshua. It was a
No.
gig. They were there to work and be paid. Sister Sihle. You see those people from South Africa. She was all over them. Daddy, you should have seen her. We don't know what she was saying to them. Now remember.
Because there is Zulu.
Yeah, because we were speaking in my vernacular language. We don't know what she was saying to them, Daddy.
So people
we
are
need
always
to-
watching
Yes.
and listening.
Yes.
Is this a cult?
Did I not get beaten up? Did I not get beaten up?
Just for talking
So
to
I had to
people.
stay away from the Joyous Celebration crew. I would see them from afar and just stay away because, like,
So
and
who
when he
beat you
whips
up?
you,
Wait,
TB
he
Joshua,
himself?
yes, and when he whips you, he will slap you, huh? And then after that, he will say, anybody who's also angry like me, oh yeah, come. Then anyone in the line, they will slap you. Everyone gonna slap you, you know. So that whole week when
That's
Joyous
physical
Celebration was there,
abuse.
I had to stay away. And at some point, the crew of Joyous Celebration would be like, hey, Sihle, come. And I'd be like, I'm coming back. I know I can't because they are watching me. And they didn't know what I was saying to them. But remember now, TB Joshua was afraid of people finding out what he's doing to us behind the scenes. So the fact that I'm speaking my vernacular language, that's a problem. What did I tell these people about TB Joshua? Do you understand? And so he groomed you to a point where you are now submissive. So even if he says jump, you just jump without asking. Even if, now you're used to it. If they say Ino stole a cup, whether you did it or didn't, I must agree with what TB Joshua says.
It's like you brainwashed.
Yeah. You indoctrinate.
You indoctrinated.
And that is why for me, people who say we are lying and they're protecting their papa, you were just visitors. You didn't stay there. You were not there with us. And then there was this thing where girls would be called. Every time girls are called, they say, oh yeah, Sister Ino. Oh yeah, Sister Millie. Daddy is calling you. Use West Wing. And then you think to yourself, because now you remember being close to men of God. Now he also creates that thing of you want to be close to him.
It's an honor.
It's an honor. It's a privilege. Not knowing the day they called you. One day I was sitting there. The Sister Bisola, she's on the documentary, comes, says, Sihle. Oh yeah. Daddy's calling you fifth story. Fifth story. Oh yeah, run now. So when daddy calls you, you must run. So I ran. I'm thinking, hey, this is my day.
Yes.
Maybe I'm going to get anointed. I don't know. Because everyone who comes down from fifth story, they have a different demeanor and you're thinking, and they are closer to men of God. And you're thinking, hey, you know what? This is my chance. I walked in. I've got, every time we have to walk around with a book and a pen. So I walked in with my book and pen. He says, when he walked in already, you could feel that
Different environment.
it was a tensed environment. You walk in, soft carpet. It's. And then he chased the boys away. And then he closed the door and he says, Sihle. Oh yeah, put this down your Bible and notebook. So Bible, I learned there that Bible is a pen. I put it down. And it says, oh yeah, take off your pants.
Ooh, this is a person that preaches to you
teachings and everything,
Yeah.
all of a sudden take off your pants.
Yeah. So now you're groomed to a point of you can't even ask anything. You just
Because now you know I can't question, I can't ask,
Yeah.
I can't. Yes. So they have you exactly where they
so
want
he
you.
had you waiting. Then he says, "Oh yeah, lie down."
On the carpet.
Then you lie down.
Sure.
Then he jumps on you, ne?
Sure.
And when he's breathing on you, you don't know whether it's a lion or a tiger, but the breathing is intense.
Sure.
And at that moment, you are numb. At that moment, you're thinking, I'm dreaming. It can't be TV Joshua. No, it can't. I'm dreaming. This is not happening. When he's done with you, he's going to take a cloth. He's going to wipe out. No protection used. Nothing. He's going to wipe out his semen, put it in a bag. And he says, "Oh yeah, get dressed." Then when you're dressed, he says, "Oh yeah, leave." You will not leave the same entrance you came in. You leave another entrance.
Sure.
So by the time you go downstairs, guess who's waiting for you? Sister Bisola. The one that told you. Remember, she was the pimp. She was also assigned to do this.
That's a whole pimp.
That's the whole pimp. So now...
And she knows exactly what happened.
Yes, because they were doing it to her also. So now, when you're down from there, you'll constantly see Sister Bisola monitoring you. They want to see who you're talking to, what you're doing, whatever. So now already you know that you're being watched.
So when you leave on this end, is someone else coming from the other
Yes.
end now? So it's a rotation the whole day.
Yes.
So the semen that it takes, does it do some sort of ritual with it?
My
'Cause
darling.
clearly there's a reason why I'm sleeping with all
My
of you.
darling, let me tell you, we never slept there. Even 2, 3 a.m., they would say, "Oh yeah, daddy's calling you."
And now you already know what it's for.
Now you know. Now it's like you're just going and you're just succumbing. Like now you know. You know? I mean, and when it happens, even when we're sitting like this, if they see you sitting like this, you're in trouble. Why are you sitting together?
Why?
You're supposed to be busy. Why is it? Because if you're
Are
sitting
they
together...
paying you? Because this is work. Are they
No,
paying
and
you
it would
for
say
this?
to you, you just get food and a weekly stipend just to buy snacks. That's it.
So you can't send money home.
And he has your passport. Because when you arrive, the passport stays there.
So you can't really escape.
Where are you going to go to? Because even if you've been to synagogue, when you walk out of the church, across the road is it's where the visitors building, where the building crashed. And then down the road for you to enter, there are police officers there, his bodyguards with the rifles. So where are you going to go? How are you going to run away? For what? Where are you going to go? So you are watched. And at this point, the only thing that's running in your mind is, I wonder if what he's doing to me is doing to others.
Yes.
But
you're so scared.
But you can't ask. But you can't ask.
Because they've created a system
You can't
of when
ask.
you
It's
talk,
a
you'll be
system. You
punished.
can't ask. Sometimes we had a disciple class and I'm not seeing you for 3 weeks. I dare not ask. I dare not ask.
None of your business.
You want me to get beaten up? You want me to be isolated? You want me to get punished? I dare not ask. So then it started making sense. Some people would die. They'd die, would never see them in the synagogue. And we'd never know. But for me, it made sense why girls would vanish for weeks in end and then they come back different people. Because once you miss your period and you're pregnant, then you're introduced to the underground clinic, the hospital. You see where you're singing, "Jesus is Lord, Jesus is Lord." Underground, there's a clinic. And when you get there, that's where the abortions happen. So they will take you, you'll lie on the bed, they'll put this thing up, they put your legs up like this. They're like, "Oh yeah, open your legs." Ooh. And then they will just take something and into you and crack, 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 crack. You know when prisoners say, people who come from prison, when they say the sound of chains still haunts them. For me, that sound of that thing hurt because, and when they pull out, you feel like your whole intestines are falling out.
Literally.
And then you will stay there until the bleeding stops. You will not be allowed to leave. So you are there, I am there, but we're not talking to each other, we are monitored. So basically, I know that why we are all here, but we're not talking about it. And every time you bleed, you take that sanitary pad of yours, you put it in a plastic, you keep it there. When you're done with it, you're taken to the prayer mountain. Not the beautiful prayer mountain you see on TV.
No.
You're taken to that one with the dirty water, the one that has his special hut. And when you get there, you take your waste and you put it in that basket where his serpent is. And then he will take something like a honey or a gel, put it on his manhood. You'll sleep on the floor, and he'll have his way with you, and then you must leave. And then you get back to church, you're back. And nobody... and then
Regular programming.
You're normal. You're normal.
No therapy, no
I had 3 abortions. I had three abortions at that church. That is why today, people who've been there, some of them have lost wombs. They can't have children.
Yes.
Some of them have decided...
It's a clinic, it's not even
Some-
a hospital.
some-
So it's a
some-
legal abortion.
Yeah.
So it's not done properly.
Yeah.
The pain that you must have gone through,
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine.
Yeah.
Emotionally, physically.
Yeah.
Having to heal like that in isolation without even having to speak to anyone.
Yeah. And I had 3 abortions there. And when I tell that, that's when social media will say, yeah, she seduces men, this one, she seduces men of God. But this is my story. This is what happened to me.
It's your life.
I don't know what TB Joshua was imparting in us when he was doing whatever he was doing. I don't know what he was imparting in us. So, and you knew when rich men come there, you'd be assigned to say, you are in charge of this man. And your duty is to make sure you milk out all the information from him. But by the time the prayer line comes, you must have slept with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are rich, remember when you go to synagogue, people who've been there, there's a form, application form, where you put all your information, your net salary, how much you earn. Basically, we know your value.
Oh, so
then you
become a
put your
target.
picture. Hey. So then they will look at you and say, South Africa. Oya Sihle, you'll be in charge in this of this one and this one. So what's my duty? Remember when you go to synagogue, you're there for 7 days. For 7 days.
Okay.
And in the first 5 days, they will make you watch the movies. I call them movies now.
Okay. Yeah.
The testimonies of people who wake up and run and healed and whatever. They say to build your faith so that by the time the prayer line comes, you are okay. So by that time, obviously, I'm a disciple. I work there. Oh yeah, brother, how are you?
The trust.
The trust. Why are you here? You start telling me your problems, telling me everything. I start
opening
you are opening up to me. And I'm like, my brother, don't worry, Don't worry, God will help you. Don't worry, Every day you must be seeing me. Every day I must be seeing. Every day you must be seeing me. But
The same person
the
over
same
and
person
over again.
for those
You
5
build
days.
the trust.
And remember, the rich people don't sleep in the dormitories. What people don't know in the synagogue, if you're a normal person, you sleep in a dormitory with everybody. But the rich people sleep in like
Separated.
executive rooms, private rooms by themselves.
So which makes it easier
So
for
it makes
the
it easier.
assignment
So
now.
and the rich people don't eat breakfast with everyone in the dormitories. If you are my assignment, I will bring your breakfast to you. I will bring your lunch to you. I will bring your dinner to you. So by that time, I don't know how, but I will sleep with you.
So you're not just there sleeping with him, you're sleeping with other men as
Yeah.
well in the church who are assigned to you.
Yes. That's my assignment because every
That's your
day,
assignment.
remember he doesn't sleep. Every day he will call you, Oya Sihle, or he'll call all of us, one by one. Oya Sihle, how's it going? Papa, Daddy, so far I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Go deeper. I need to know more. More. So remember, for the first 5 days, I'm doing this. On the 6th day, remember prayer line is on Sunday.
Yes.
On Saturday, they'll say, Emmanuel, the clothes that you are going to wear on Sunday tomorrow, please wear them today on Saturday. Because for camera purposes, we need to do video of before
And
after. So you, like a video showing that when you arrived, this is your story in the same dress.
Yes.
So that when you're getting prayed for or possibly prophesied for, it links as if it was one day.
Yes.
But we know that we're doing that because I need to know what you'll be wearing tomorrow. I need to know what you're wearing tomorrow. So you will come there, you will tell them your story and whatnot. And by that time, remember, once I've slept with you, maybe on the 5th day. On the 5th day, once I've slept with you, then I have to distance myself from you.
Yeah.
So now you are in a turmoil of,
You are lost.
my
What's
God.
going on?
No. Remember, you know TB Joshua is the voice of God. You know TB Joshua hears from God. You know that TB Joshua, and you know his channel is all over the world.
Now you
So
know
he's
what
gonna
you
prophesy,
did.
and you know what you did.
What you
You
did.
slept with his child.
Here.
Here.
In his
the
territory.
synagogue.
Yeah.
Yes. So by then your mind is not working properly.
Yeah.
And then you are. By then you don't know whether you are coming or going. Then you will see me. I will make sure you see me, but now you will see me from afar.
Oh, okay.
Because after sleeping with you,
Creates more
yes,
intensity.
so after sleeping with you, I'll be like, I must now play victim. Hey, what have you done?
You're playing with the mind.
Daddy's gonna know. Hey, please pray. Then I'll say, don't talk to me, please, until you leave. So I've left you with that guilt. I've left you with that guilt. So by the time you go for your interview with the camera, maybe whoever's interviewing you, I'm standing behind the camera, I'm looking at you like this in your eye. You'll be telling other things that you don't know of. You'll say maybe, I came here for business empowerment and...
I see. Now you want to say things that will benefit them. You might even leave all your money there because at this point...
Wait. You do your video, right? Then tomorrow is Sunday. Now in TV Joshua's office, there are TVs, multiple TVs in his office, where he sits, he watches the news all over the world, but then there are TVs with cameras that see every corner of the church. So on a Sunday, why he comes out late, number one, it's either he'll be busy with one of the girls, then he comes down, then he'll be watching those TVs. Then you'll be saying, if it was my assignment, hey, Papa, the man in the pink shirt is sitting in the second row. Oh yeah, remind me again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then he came here for 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you watch, he will pray, sometimes deliberately. You will sit there. Others will make them sit up in the gallery. Others will make them sit wherever. So that when the prophecy comes, it must look real.
Yes.
So when he's standing in the middle, he'll say, there's a man who is sitting right at the top there. You are a murderer. Or you are a what. Or you come. You are wearing a pink top. Then will you not come down? Everybody at the top is like, you don't want the pink top. You will run down. And man of God, forgive
Even
me.
the cameras will
yes,
follow you.
They'll follow. Then he prays for you. Out. Then you're delivered. It's finished. Then if you're a foreign visitor, you won't hear the service that Sunday. You've just slept with TV Joshua's daughter. Then before he prophesies, he'll start a song. In the name of Jesus, send the light or something. Then when he starts the song, the camera moves from him to the choristers. Then somebody must run to him and say, remind him again, the lady in the red or the man in the what. Then he will come and say, he'll come to you, straight to you and say, you, stand up. Don't worry. Your businesses will work. God loves you. Do you want me to go deeper? Then already your mind is already...
No, yes.
Then you'll say, I'll see you. I must see you after service. There are sensitive things you must talk about. Then he will say, oh yeah, take his name, I will see him. Service continues, everything is fine. After service, you're queuing to see man of God. When you see him now one-on-one, you'll be sitting there. He will call you, you will talk. You're now waiting. You're sitting there. Then while you are sitting there, he will call for you. Oh yeah, Sihle, come. He'll press the bell. Boom. Sihle walks in. You are sitting there. You are seeing this woman. How do you react? There's TV Joshua. There's this woman. Yes, Sihle. Then TV Joshua will say, the Spirit of God showed me that you have defiled my flower. You have defiled my daughter. Oh yeah, do you know the wrath of God? Do you know the curse you will live with when you leave here? Will you not donate? Will you not plant a seed? Will you not plant millions?
You are so guilty.
Will you not
at that
sow?
point.
Will you not?
Every cent.
Will you not? Because you don't want your wife or anybody or
To
the group
find
to know.
out.
Will you not? Then when I'm done, I'm gone. By the time you are taken to the airport, you'll never see me again.
You did your job.
My job is done. And then from there, I'm very close to Daddy for those few days. You know? Jackpot, I've done what he needed. Mission accomplished. So that is why when people say, she slept with all the men of God, she's doing this. I always laugh now and I say, you don't know my story. That's why you're so quick to talk. You don't know the grooming and the abuse that I went through. You don't know
The trauma.
that I personally went through. Do you understand? Now listen to this. Then the building collapses, right? How do I leave Team Joshua's church? So he's got crusades
No,
everywhere.
wait. Where were you when the building collapsed?
I'm coming there.
Because
Listen to this. So when we go to crusades, now he trusts you. Isn't it? He's already been intimate with you.
Yes.
And he's gained your trust. You've already done assignments for him. So when he goes to crusades, you go a month before he comes. Because I need to soil the ground.
A month.
Yes, we go a month before he comes. Because I need to befriend. If you have a mighty church, I'll come to your church. I will sell you the concept of TB Joshua. So your members can join. Then people think he heals, Angit. They think he heals.
Yes.
So the ones that are really, 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 really sick, they will come for real. They will come. They will come. And we will tell them your faith will heal you. We will do your placard. We'll put you on the prayer line. But guess what? The night before TB Joshua arrives, our people will fly down from Zambia, New York, Ghana, wherever. The actors.
Yeah.
They will fly down. When they fly down, they booked in one hotel. On the day, if you watch his crusades, he will preach on stage. Then people who must be prayed for are seated on the side here in different rooms.
Yes.
And when he comes, he doesn't just, he goes zigzag. Ne? He doesn't just go straight. So we will tell him, for example, Papa, row number 2 and 3, danger. It means those are the really sick ones. Stay away. Stay away. Really danger.
So wait,
Then-
now you are in this
Yeah,
thing.
so you're in, you know it. So the actors are sitting in row number 1, 4, 5, 6, all the way there.
Like skip this one on the wheelchair.
No, he will
Go to
come
the
to you. He will come to the danger zone, but he'll just pam. And then you'll be like, you'll try and stand, it's not working. Pam. Then he walks away. Ne? Then he walks away. Then he will just lay hands just to do a favor on you. Then he'll go to these actors. All of a sudden,
They are
we will
walking.
pick up the wheelchair. Hey, he's walking. He's walking. Hi. So those who are really sick are now thinking,
What about my blessing?
So when the service is over, your faith, you need to see man of God again. Then when you see him, you'll have a one-on-one. He will give you the anointing water, the water that we put in taps and just put stickers on. He'll give you the oil, the olive oil, and then he'll give you his picture, and then you will obviously plant a seed. And he'll say to you, use these things, the water, the oil, and everything, and you'll get better. After that, we are flown out of Singapore. You'll never see us again. So
You're done.
who are you going? What? When I was in Singapore, I had a Singapore SIM card. How are you going to find me? I'm gone. So how do I leave TB Joshua's church? We flew back. So now he trusts you. You fly back from a crusade, and he has a house in Johannesburg, in Rivonia. I don't know if he still has it now, but the house was in Rivonia. So you fly back, and when you fly back, you have your passport. He trusts you now. So you have your passport. So we're all staying in Daddy's house. So whether we're flying out or in, the first bus stop is the house. Because that's where we know, which, okay, this is the assignment, this is what we're going to do, this is what must be achieved. And this is the money the target money that we must get.
Yeah.
So on one fateful day, there's a gardener was doing the garden. Brrr, brrr, and I took my passport, it was here under my bra. And I said, today is the day or I never come out. So he was doing the garden, and fortunately for me, the gate is opened. He was gardening outside.
Yes.
I walked up to him, greeted him as if nothing is wrong. How are you? I'm fine. As he was talking, did I not run?
No way.
Did I not run? I stopped some random car. Hey, stop! I jumped into that car. When I jumped in that car, I said, please, just drive. That's how I left. I drove. I didn't go home because now my mom is affiliated to the church. My mom has got a high position at the spiritual son of TB Joshua. So where did I go to? I had a boyfriend that I had in university. And I said, just take me there. Lucky for me, he was alone. There was no one there. And I stayed with my boyfriend for some time. So I was gone. That's how I left.
And when the explosion happened, the building collapsed.
So when the building happened, so when they found out Sister Sihle is gone.
Yeah.
And again, before I left,
And I'm sure they knew,
before I left, during the assignments we had, one time when I was busy on an assignment, the wife of the husband walked in on me with the husband.
yeah?
Yes. And then there's an urn that's always got hot water, be it in the dining hall or in the foyer. So unfortunately, I was on top. This woman went and put boiling water. Listen, I'm on top, and all I could do was, I didn't know whether it's ice or what. Woman pour burning water on my buttocks. Kid you not, I've got burn marks on my bums.
No way.
Seriously. I was like, Woman went straight to TB Joshua's office to go and report me. I was called. Did he not shout at me?
Like,
Prostitute.
like he didn't say
In front of the wife. Prostitute. You are a Jezebel. You are this, you are that. And he told the wife he's chasing me out of the church. What happened? His clinic, when they saw, because now I started having bubbles on my bums, right? So I couldn't sit. I was flown back to South Africa. I went to Mill Park Hospital for them to attend to my 3rd-degree burns. And while I was staying in his house, then from there I went to my parents' home, who stay in Joburg South. And the story I had to tell was, no, I was walking past the urn, and by mistake the tap burst, and then the water burnt me. So I couldn't sit, I couldn't do anything until those 3rd-degree burns healed. So that woman thought I was chased from the church, but I was gone to heal in South Africa. Yeah. So and every day, Daddy would call me, every single day. And when he calls, I go on my knees.
Why?
Hello. You still think he hears and he sees you. So my parents, my family, they knew that, shame, she got burnt by the urn. Shame. Then when I got better, that's when we flew back.
You went back.
I went back. And then that's when reality started dawning, when I saw him ill-treat his biological daughter. So this is a daughter I had out of marriage.
Okay.
Ajoke. She's in the documentary. And that's when I was like, so Jabu Tlongwane's voice is in my head. What are you doing here? And that's when I realized that, no, man, something is wrong here. Why do I keep coming back here? So that's when the crusade happened. We came to South Africa, and that's how I ran. And I was like, never.
And you never looked back.
Never looked back. But guess what? He still called me. Sihle.
What?
Sihle, you have betrayed me. It shall never be well with you.
Ooh.
There's no curse under the face of the sun, he told me. Because he would tell us to say, after he has had his way with you, he will say, we are spiritually connected for life.
Yo.
Me and you for life.
Yo.
So, to a point where he then said, if I don't want the curse of God upon me,
Yeah.
I was then transferred to the Cape Town branch. He had a synagogue in Cape Town. So I went to Cape Town branch. I was the chorister leader, praise and worship leader.
Yes.
I was there because now I was monitored, but in South Africa. So the same, but in South Africa, at the Cape Town branch was a normal church, but I was there to teach the choristers, things from that side. And then I broke free and I was like, I'm out, I'm gone, thank you, goodbye, like I'm done. But the hurt was, when you tell your mom, she tells the very person, then you're back in trouble. Unfortunately for me, when I was there, my father, God rest his soul, didn't want me to go there. And when he heard I was not coming back, TB Joshua paid for him, my mother, and my brother to fly to Nigeria because he wanted to reassure them that I'm safe. So my mom, already being a high pastor she was okay. My dad, Zulu man, got there, took out a cigarette. He says, this is nonsense. My child's going home. All I know, my father was an auditor working in the city of Johannesburg in South Africa.
Yeah.
All I know, there was a prophecy TB Joshua gave on stage, live on TV. He said to my father, I see you packing suitcases. And these suitcases that you are packing are taking you to a higher level. And he said, prepare yourself, it's going to happen soon. All I know, after my dad saw TB Joshua, or one-on-one, my dad gave me his blessing to stay. And he came back to South Africa. And 3 months later, my dad passed away. Yeah, he died in his sleep.
What?
Yes. And what I hear from my dad's former colleagues is that when my dad came back to South Africa, he was the one now telling everybody about Emmanuel TV. TB Joshua this, TB Joshua that, watch Emmanuel TV,
So
do this, do
something
this,
happened
do
then.
that, do that. So I don't know what happened. But my dad died in his sleep.
He was not sick.
No, he had a cardiac arrest. He died in his sleep. And when my dad died, TB Joshua flew in 15 disciples. He gave my mother about $5,000 to bury my dad. And he told my mom, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry as if you're not a believer. And then the three sisters that sing, Anne, Anu, Bose, the three main sisters, if you watch Emmanuel TV, they were at my dad's burial. They buried my dad. They were singing. Anyone who was at my dad's burial will tell you my father was buried by TB Joshua's crew. They were all there. Every day they were at my mother's house.
Because not like he was a member for so many years.
Look, every day they were at my mother's house, bringing food, bringing whatever. But no, they were there to monitor me. What am I saying? What am I not saying? And then they left. So after that, that's when I started talking, telling my mom to say, the abuse I've been through. Yes. Not only from TB Joshua, it started at the mission house with Philip Banda, this and this and this. That's when my mom said to me, the one that used to protect you has passed on now. You must leave this house. I was kicked out of home.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Because I started telling.
Yeah.
So
that's when I started telling my truth.
now, does your mom not believe you?
My mom is still alive.
Mom is loyal.
She has a protection order
I
against
understand.
me and my children. She's loyal to the church. So I'm talking and I'm saying it started at the mission house. Now I'm breaking down. My father is no more here. It started at the mission house. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened.
She's like,
It's like you're ruining things for her now.
yeah,
She's like,
I'm ruining
no.
things.
and
Like
these people are taking care of me.
like
they buried my
go.
husband, please.
Just go. So I left and I stayed with my boyfriend and
So
I
she
was-
thinks this is okay. I'm just trying to understand as a mom.
yeah.
If your daughter tells you all of this, you can't possibly think she's making
No,
it
she
up.
said
This is your daughter.
Her answer was, it's the demon in you. It's not. This is not my daughter speaking. She says this is a demon of Jezebel and manipulation in you.
No, but
And she would
remember,
cast it
guys,
out of
if
me.
She's also manipulated. Then she's talking from point of
Yes,
manipulation.
yes.
You
And
see,
she would
yeah, I
cast it
know.
out of me to say, she would say to me, the demon of Jezebel, prostitution must come out. This is not my daughter speaking. Understand?
Okay, so to
So,
close it up, because we
the
out of
building
time.
collapsed.
Oh my goodness, yes, the building collapsed, and then also he's passing after this documentary.
Yes. Just
I
to
mean,
close
how
that.
was that for you?
So, building collapse, I get a call. Now they call me. Still, to show you I've left for years, but when he calls me, I still submit. Oh yeah, Sihle, you must go and give people money. You know those Congo carry me go, Kwanzaa Kaya pegs. We're going to family, giving them bulks of money. Just to silence them, the ones that their family members died. If your family member died, we give you money. So when now TB, when my mom now discovered that, she's back, she's working, she's sending this, that's when we became close again. And we traveled together again. But fast track, the BBC documentary drops on the 8th of January, right? 3 days later, my daughter dies.
Oh, babe, go Sam.
3 days later, my daughter dies. Did the social media TB Joshua's followers say, touch not my anointed? You have messed with the wrong man of God.
Oh, so
you
as if it's a punishment to you.
Yes, it's a punishment to
So
me.
you can't even mourn your
being-
daughter's passing.
Yeah, I was
because there's
cyberbullied.
all of this cyberbullying
Yes,
and
yes,
accusation.
yes.
It's like
It's one
this is
blogger,
a loss.
one
Do you
blogger,
understand?
one blogger from Zimbabwe was saying Sihle is a prostitute. She seduces men of God. That's the job she does. She's lying. That is why her child has died. There's nothing under the face of the sun that they never said about me. My family had to take my phones away from me because they were like, touch not my anointed. My mom came to my house. My mom, by the way, who had given us a protection order, the last time she saw my daughter was when my daughter was 6 years old.
And your
We had
daughter
a
died at
protection
10.
order, and my daughter died at the age of 10. And she comes because somebody sent her location where I stay. And I'm thinking, oh God, it's going to be a reconciliation between mother and daughter here. No, she gets there. She comes into my room. She's like, so what happened? Then as we're explaining, I'm like, my daughter was fine. 3 hours, I remember, 3 hours before she passed on, she did an ombre makeup kind of thing. She had beautiful makeup done and she was dancing. She's showing me. But for some reason, she comes to my room and I said to her, I took my phone. I said, I need to take a video of this. But guess what I did? I was affirming her. And I said to her, who's your mommy? Who's your mommy? Who's your mommy? She's like, you. I'm like, what's your mommy's name? She's like, Sihle Sibisi. And I'm like, who loves you more than anyone in the world? She's like, God. And I'm like, after God, she says Jesus. And then after Jesus, mommy. After mommy, it's my brother. And then this is me saying to her, you are going to be the best woman in the whole wide world. I love you with my heart and I wish you all the best. I'm affirming my daughter and she's busy saying, thank you, mommy. Thank you, mom. On the video.
Who's your mommy? 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 Who's your brother? Who's your brother? Who's your brother? Ha 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 ha. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Ooh, Batung, Batung, Batung. What's your other name? Other name? Oh, Gosiami. What's your short name? Your nickname? Ooh, are you the baby for who? Oh my God, Sihle who? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! She's looking so cute. Oh, Tika! Love you, Nana. Good night, Nana. Lady, switch off for mommy.
And then she leaves my room. 2 minutes later, she comes back. She switches on the light. I'm like, TK, what now? She's like, I need to wash my face because I'm going to get pimples. So my bed is here, my bathroom is there. I take a video and I videoize her washing her face. She comes back, she hugs me, she kisses me, and she says to me, I love you, mommy. I said, okay. And the week prior before that, she wrote me a love letter saying, thank you to the woman who makes life happen. And then the next love letter was, mommy, thank you for allowing me to be myself. I love you so much and I love you until the day I die. That was the love letter. Yes, that's what she wrote to me.
No way. How does a child?
No, if you go on, so a month after she died, my son and I, 2 months after she died, my son and I went and did a podcast where we were just telling the story of how my daughter died.
Yes.
Because we were like, now it's time for us to just tell our story.
your
So it's on our Kwanele Foundation YouTube page if people want to see it.
Yes.
The title is How Did Sihle's Daughter Die? It's there. And you'll see the videos because I put up the video of
Even
3
that video
hours
of her
of me affirming her. Yes,
So your
that
daughter
video's
was
there.
fine.
My daughter was fine. My daughter was not sick. So even me affirming her, that video I put up. I even put up the video of her washing her face. But guess what happened? After she left, she hugged me, I love you. I slept. 3 hours later, I'm hearing screaming, but I'm not understanding what's happening. Then I heard, gah, the door opened. My son's like, Ma, TK wants you. I'm like, what's wrong? TK, I'm like, TK, come. So now by this time, my daughter's crawling, but she's crawling on her side. So I jump from bed, I pick her up, I put her on the bed. I'm like, TK, what's going on? What's wrong? She says, Mommy, I've got a headache. Mom, my head is going to explode. I'm like, TK, what's wrong? She says, Mommy, I'm going blind. So immediately she used to sleep with these things at night, those eye things at night. So I said to the brother, fetch that thing, maybe it's the light that's affecting her. Then I said to him, quickly, fetch water. We took a khanyisile, I put it inside, I'm thinking. Then she says, I'm shaking, I'm getting cold. So I gave her the khanyisile and an Adcodol. And she says, Mommy, my head is bursting. And I'm like, TK, stop it. And I'm like, I'm in my pajamas, I'm like, I'm taking you to the hospital. And then she removes this thing. She looks at my son and I, and she says, Mommy and MK, let me sleep, I'll be okay. And I looked at her, I said, what are you talking about? She says, let me sleep, I'll be okay. Then she closes it. Then I took the keys. As I'm running down the passage to the garage, my son screams, Ma, TK stopped breathing. So I run back. So when I ran back into the bedroom, she was foaming, and I'm like, how do you know she stopped? She's like, Mommy, because she had foam coming out and she had snot coming out. So it had stopped. And she's like, stop breathing. So I tried picking up. I'm like, TK, wake up, TK, wake up. So I ran out of the house now and I stood in the middle of our estate and I started screaming. I screamed. Luckily, my neighbor was awake and they came and I'm like, help me. They took my daughter. I'm sitting at the back of the van. My son is in the front with him. The hospital is about 6-7 minutes away from my house. We get to the hospital. The whole way I'm like, TK, wake up. TK, wake up. And TK is just not waking up. We get to the hospital. They bring a wheelchair. And the people, when they bring the wheelchair, they're like, this child can't be in a wheelchair. Then they bring a stretcher. They bring the stretcher, they put her on the stretcher. They put her in the emergency side. Now I'm seeing lots of doctors going in and out, in and out, in and out. And they come to me, they're like, sorry, dead on arrival. I'm like, my daughter is not dead. You're going to resuscitate. You are going to resuscitate my daughter. I said, you're going to resuscitate my daughter. So they continued resuscitating for more than 10 minutes. And then they said a pulse is coming. They quickly rushed her for scans now. And they've got
To
this,
see what's
they
going
put
on.
something here, and then they're pumping it. They rush her for scans, and they put her in the ICU. And then the doctor shows me the X-ray from the lungs, from the chest. And she says to me, a healthy X-ray, she says to me, thank you so much. She says to me, a healthy X-ray, your daughter's lungs, it's supposed to show black. But her, it shows pure white. And she's like, and we're still waiting for more results, but she's bleeding in the head. Did she fall? I'm like,
Hence she was complaining about
I'm like,
her
she
head.
didn't fall. Like, has she complained of headaches? I'm like, no. Then they're calling a trauma counselor for me. By that time, I've called my sisters and my brothers and everyone. And the trauma counselor's there. I'm like, trauma counselor for what? Then they say, you can go home. You'll come back at, I think by this time, it's about 5 a.m., 6 a.m. We'll call you, come back at 11 for visiting hours. Now, remember, the hospital is 6-7 minutes away from my house. So as I drove, when I got home, my phone rang. I pick up, they're like, is this Sihle Sibisi? I'm like, yes. They're like, this is Waterfall Net Care Hospital. I'm like, yes. Like, you need to come back. I said, why? They said, you forgot to sign something. I quickly threw my phone to my aunt. I don't know what they said to her. My aunt said, we need to go back. When I walked into the ICU this time around, the curtains were closed. And I'm like, why is my daughter's curtains closed? And they're like, no, they're bathing her, they're cleaning her up. I'm like, why are they closed? Then I sat. While I'm sitting, I can see the doctors walking up and down, up and down, up and down. Then the doctor finally comes to me and says, as soon as you left, your daughter started bleeding through the ears, through the nose, through the mouth.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
And she says, the bleeding was uncontrollable. She bled. So that was the end of her. And she's like, your daughter respected and loved you that much. She didn't want you to see that. She didn't want you to see that. So I said, I want to see her. So I went in there and they showed me this bucket where the blood was because they had to suction her. And I looked at my daughter. I said, no, TK Vuga, wake up, wake up. And she was sleeping. And I said, TK, wake up. What is this? What are you doing to me? And then the doctor was like, the child's going to need to go for autopsy, but at the Hillbrow, the government mortuary, it's going to take longer. So we opted for a private pathologist. And they told us that she had a ruptured brain aneurysm. What is that? And they're like, some people in this world, 1 out of 50, walking around with unruptured aneurysm. So you might have an aneurysm, meaning blood clots in your head, but they have not yet ruptured. So your daughter had aneurysms, but now they ruptured.
From nowhere.
So then my daughter's funeral happens. My mom comes and she's asking me what happened. I tell her what happened. As I'm explaining, like I'm explaining to you, she then says, glory to God. God, you've done it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Yeshua.
Done what?
Did I not cry? And then she left. And then she said to me, one thing she said to me, she said, I would like to know where your daughter is because as her grandmother, I would love to bath her and anoint her and clothe her, then I'll give her back to you. And I said, no. And then the funeral happened. The theme was pink and white. My son was involved in making sure the funeral happens. He chose the casket. The casket was pure white, but it had a big flower bouquet from the start to finish, which was pink and white. And we told the guys that if you're wearing a black suit, put pink. And then at the funeral, my mom rocks up. She's there. She's dressed in all black from head to toe, wearing, I don't know if you watch those Nigerian movies, but some black thing that looks very scary. And I want to thank Umama Hashelim Mhlophe no Bab Ngobo, because they carried me. They officiated my daughter's funeral. From the hospital, from the time my daughter came to sleep for the last time at home, they were there. They officiated the funeral. I want to thank Balisa Madisakwane. Balisa was there for me. My sister-in-law, Bridget, they were the ones that were there for me. My aunt, Usenzi, they were the ones who were there with me when we bathed my daughter. And let me tell you, I feel my daughter robbed me of her milestones, because when we went to bath her, my daughter had pubic hairs. And I remember we were already talking about, I said to her, I must buy you a menstrual kit when you start your periods. And she's like, why? I'm like, when girls are on their menstruals, they're moody, they're like sweets and chocolates and everything. So I was looking forward to that. And she'd already started having little boobies. So at the funeral happens, and while the funeral's happening, did my mom not stand up from the crowd and go by the coffin? I'm told she had something in her hand, like an oil that she wanted to put into the grave. So my brother, Usnobile, stood there and said to her, please move away. This was during prayer, as the coffin was going down. And she was like, if you push me away, I'll scream. Now, this is what I'm hearing now from him, that this is what he saw. He said to her, if you don't move, ngizokubula. So she left, got in a car, and started hooting as if it's a wedding. Hooted, and she left. That was the last time.
Wait, is this real? This is your mom?
Yes. Ask anyone who was at my daughter's funeral. Now, this I'm being told now at home after the funeral.
Yes,
did you see your mom? This is what happened, because I was not in my right senses. As the casket was going down, when I watch the video now, I literally was halfway in. I had people holding me back. I literally was halfway in going down with my daughter. So these are things I'm hearing afterwards. So that was the last time I saw my mom, on the 14th of January, 2024. And guess what? My daughter's burial was on my son's crown birthday. So 14th January, my son was turning 14. So that was the hardest thing for me, where I had to say, rest in peace, my daughter, and happy birthday to my son. So my daughter was deliberate in terms of she was born on Christmas. So we can't forget her. Christmas, we have to remember her.
On the day of the birthday.
Her brother's birthday is the day she passed, she was buried. So why am I wearing a sash? My daughter was a pageant queen. She did Ace Models. She was Miss South Africa, Miss Cutie Pie. She did Miss Elegance. She did everything. And when this opportunity came to me to say, we're doing the first ever Mrs. Cavey South Africa. We want you to come on board. I took it with both hands. I said, in honor of my daughter. In honor of my daughter, because I know she would have wanted me to do it, because she was a pageant queen, and I can only but imagine. And also in her memory, as you close, I then started dreaming about my daughter. I would dream of my daughter. I would dream of myself cradling her. All the time. And then this is what birthed me, having her tattoo. So if you look at this tattoo, it's the exact picture. It's exactly the same. And what's there is her birth date. 25. She was born on Christmas Day 12, 2013. Because I said, I'm not going to put a death date. I'm putting a birth date. So most of the time when I sit, people think I'm a bit nuts. So I'll be doing this. And these are moments when I feel that I miss my baby.
Right there.
Yes, I'm cradling my baby.
dream
I miss
literally
my
doing
baby. I
that.
literally dream holding and doing this.
You just miss her. I think it's just missing her so much.
And, I almost never came to the interview because last night my son had a meltdown. He came home and he said, Ma, I miss my sister. And he broke down and he cried. And he cried and he cried and he cried. I had to phone the psychiatrist. I said, it's bad. We had to go to hospital last night. He had to get medication and injection to calm him down. And the doctor and the psychiatrist said to me, after a year, it gets really tough. And I said to him, what triggered you? You know what triggered him? Yeah. I was wearing my daughter's bonnet, her pink bonnet. And he says, Mommy, when I looked at you, you looked exactly like her. And it showed me her. So where is my son at? He's at a space where I'm thankful that he can speak about his sister. I'm thankful that
he can even express
himself. I mean, we're on medication since 2024. My son is on depression medication. At some point, his hair was falling out when he was combing his hair. My son is on medication. I'm on medication. Don't think I'm okay. Like, I take pills to sleep sometimes. I take pills during the day to be okay sometimes. I've got emergency pills where when I feel anxious, I pop in my mouth. But the grace, when I say there's beauty in brokenness, the grace of God is that in spite of the pain, I'm still able to wake up and work and push for my son.
And be good at it.
And when people say to me, how do you do it? Ngithi nama angazi. Angazi ukuthi it means God, there is a God. Because the fact that I'm able to go on camera and say, Sanbonani Moja lovers, for me to talk, the fact that I'm able to do whatever. I mean, the fact that I'm able to come home and I'm like, don't wish for someone else's life.
Yes.
If you wish to be like Sihle Sibisi, please take my problems also. Please take my trauma also. Because behind the scenes, when the wig and the makeup is off, I'm a mom to a 15-year-old son. And I need to show up. And that is why when people ask me till today, how many kids do you have? I say, I have 2 kids. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, my daughter's on a promotional post in heaven. And my son is here with us.
I said promotional post.
She is.
It's my first time hearing that.
She's on
So beautiful.
She's on a promotional post in heaven. And this was inspired because I dreamt her the other time. We were sitting at a park. And she's wearing, my daughter loved shimmery, glittery things. And she's wearing
girly girl, eh?
She's wearing a pink short and a pink top. And she says to me, Ma, we need to have a girls' meeting. And I'm like, what? So I'm sitting at this park, but this park feels different, man. It feels like it feels super nice. And she says to me, Mommy, do you know where I stay? It is very nice. She says, I'm having the best time in my life. I said, really? She says, Ma, let me tell you something. I have all the time in the world. I said, what do you mean? She says, let me tell you something. Do you know where I'm staying? It's forever. And then I looked at her and I said, what do you mean? She says, you on earth, your time is very short. I said, TK, what do you mean my time is very short? She says, well, let me tell you a secret. My daddy has this big sparkle book. And when he opens the sparkle book, if your name is highlighted in pink, it means you're still good to stay on earth. And if it's highlighted in black or red, it means your time is almost up. And I'm like, TK, tell your dad I'm not coming to you. She says, no, you're going to live long because you need to make sure my brother becomes the great man in the world. And I said, okay. Then immediately, as I'm about to talk, you know that church chiming bell that
Yes.
It chimed 3 times. Ding, ding, ding. And she stands up and she says, Mommy, I have to go. Hey, like, I've got stuff to do. And I'm like, TK, bye. And she's like, bye. And she kisses me and she runs off and she's gone. And then my alarm rang and I got up. And I sat and I'm like, so when I tell my son.
I mean, how do you feel about that dream?
I cried. And I stood up.
Don't you feel good?
I phoned Mam Ngobo.
I phoned
Because I mean,
Look. When I
Better
phoned
place.
when I phoned Mam Ngobo, where actually Mhlope, and I said to her, I just dreamt this and I was a mess. I was a fruitcake. I was crying. You know what she said? She laughed and she said, your daughter's saying, Mommy, release me.
yes.
I'm happy.
To be
I'm in a
absent
good
from the
place.
body is to be present with the Lord.
And she says to me, your daughter's saying, Magati, your time is short. She's saying, live your life. Like, stop hanging on to me. Yes, you'll miss me, but live your life.
And I'm happy where I am.
okay.
It's nice where I am.
She's like, where I am, it's nice. And
It's
she's dressed,
forever.
my man, like in a pink shorts and a sparkle one. And she's like, she says, where I am, it's forever. Where you are.
Imagine when she says, I've got forever, like.
Yeah, and Mang Ngobo says to me, this goes back to the Bible that says, cry for yourself, not for those that have departed.
Hey.
Cry for yourselves. Uguti, when that day happens, where will you be? And then when I told my son said to me, Mommy, my sister's got the golden ticket. I said, what do you mean? He says to me, she died, she was pure, Mommy. My sister had a good heart.
Yes.
And he says, I know for sure she's sitting with God, and I know for sure she's got best friends there. So my son will tell you. I tell you now, sometimes he comes to me and says, Mom, you know, I think TK is probably baking or doing something in heaven, but she's having
loved
fun.
each other, hey.
So they were best friends. Because, I mean, we were just the 3 of us. I mean, we were all we had. My husband died in 2016, and I raised these kids alone for 8 years. So it was just me and my 2 kids. So I had to say to my son,
You've gone through so much.
I said to my son, I had to say to my son yesterday, I said to him yesterday, I'm sorry. He said, Mommy, why are you sorry? I said, I'm sorry that you lost your father. I'm sorry that you don't have a relationship with your grandmother. I'm sorry that you lost your best friend, your sister. And he turned around and he said to me, Mommy, you're doing the best that you can.
You really are.
And he said, the opportunities and the things I have, some kids who have both parents don't get them.
Oh, yes.
And he said, Mommy, thank you. Did I not cry last night? Did I not cry like a fruitcake? And I was like, I am not going to the interview. I'm sorry, I'm not okay.
You have such a
And this
beautiful
morning,
son, though.
I drop him off at school. He's like, so I asked him, how did you sleep? Are you okay? He says, no, I'm fine. He says, thanks for phoning the doctor. I'm okay now, I'm calm. And he's like, are you going for the interview? I said, no, I'm feeling sad. He says, Ma, TK was not selfish. If you don't go, she's going to be angry. Please go to the interview.
No way.
Kid you not.
Oh, so
I was not going to come.
Thank
If
you
you ask your PA, I was like, Andizi, I'm not coming. And that's when I decided I don't want makeup done because chances are I might cry. I don't know if I'll cry, but
You're gonna come.
Let me just come and just tell my story. So when you see me wear the sash, like I said to them, this is
all
an
the
honor.
best. I mean,
this
this
is an
journey.
honor. This is an honor of my daughter. Because
And I can't
TK,
believe this is like for the semi-finalists.
I'm a semi-finalist.
So that's like a next step.
Yes,
That's huge.
Yes, that's huge. I'm a semi-finalist for Mrs. Curvey, South Africa, and for me,
Congratulations.
yes. So I'm like, I've never walked the ramp. I've never. So I phoned her modeling coach, Mrs. Tokofatso Mate. She's the founder of Mrs. Soweto, by the way, because she started grooming my daughter at the age of 3. I said, I'm gonna hound you. I don't know how to model.
Help me.
I don't know how to do these things. She's like, I'm going to help you. So for me, wherever I go, if it's interviews or I'm traveling out of the country, I take my daughter's backpack with me because I feel I'm taking her with me. There was a time I was in Parliament and I was doing this the whole time. And I remember one honorable member looked at me and said, are you okay? I said, no, I'm fine. But I was going through the most. I was missing my daughter. But I find
it's so recent. Like, this is still new. It's just it's like.
So that's
you are
why
in
I
the
say
healing
people who say
journey.
they are Christians showed me that they are cruel. Because when my daughter died, they said the wrath of TB Joshua, touch not my anointed. Ulayegile, what were you thinking? She had to go. But guess what? Through the death of my daughter, Diary of a Grieving Mother has been birthed. Ooh. We have a monthly group of mothers who've lost children where we meet together every month. We meet physically or online and we give strength to each other. And we like, how do we navigate losing a child? You know, my story is so huge where I think it must be a movie one day, or I need a part 20 to tell it because there's just so much.
There's so much.
I can't keep up. I'm like, wow.
I've been
I also
listening to
don't know
Sihle
how
stories
you
for
keep
years.
up, and I love the fact that you've also opened organizations, and now you're also helping
selfless.
moms who've lost their kids, and then you have your job, and then you're a mom yourself.
Yeah.
There's so much, but I think it's healing also to be part of helping other people.
It is.
It's so healing.
And now you're healing South Africa too, because I feel like your job is not just a job.
Yeah.
There's more to it. You know, the impact is far greater.
Yeah.
I mean, we enjoy seeing the drama, but at the same time, it's just like, it's healing the nation. You understand?
And let me tell you, I think God has a sense of
an
humor.
assignment.
You know why God has a sense of humor?
Yeah.
Because when you put me at Moja Love, I work with people that understand my crazy.
Yeah.
I work with people where, honestly,
you are in your element.
like they understand my crazy.
No, like, that's you. That show is
And
you.
sometimes when I'm on set, I burst into tears and the makeup artist is here and they must redo my makeup and then I start again. And lights, camera, action, ta bam, 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 this is this, she's in the element. Yeah. But that's God for you. He's got a sense of humor. And I'm like, but because people were saying, Christians were saying, yeah, instead of her mourning her daughter, she's busy running after pastors. She doesn't know the next child will die also. Ooh. And I'm thinking, guys, I got these jobs before my daughter left. Yeah. But you see how cruel Christians are. So for me and for my sanity, for my sanity.
Where's the safe space now?
Exactly.
For you, you know?
So my sanity is believe what you want to believe about what killed my daughter. I'm focusing on the autopsy. The postmortem said she died from a ruptured brain aneurysm.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that. If whatever you want to believe will make you happy, do it. Where's my safe space? My family. I don't have friends. I had to lose friends because I found that some people, they are the ones that will sell my name to the newspaper, tell I'd be vulnerable to you. I'll be vulnerable to you.
Can't this
Tomorrow
an
I'm trending.
opportunity for
Tomorrow
them
I'm
to go and
trending.
sound.
And I'm sure you're tired of trending now.
No, Mamela, listen.
You trend, okay?
Mamela, I trend.
I know clips from this episode. I also want to
Look, I trend for everything. Like I even say to every time I say to my son, please, whatever you do, please just be kind and be a good boy. Because if you do something, they'll say, Sihle Sibisi son.
Yes. You know she's got a love-hate relationship with pastors, ne? Now, I mean, when I first saw you, you were attacking pastors, right? With your organization, you were against, the abuse that they took. And then now you have a show again. You're walking into their churches while they're on the pulpit. It's like I'm sure pastors are food no good born.
But this is what I say. I say to them,
I'm just awkward for you to visit a new church because they don't know that you're here to film or you're here for church challenge.
I went to a church the other day. I walked in and I could see they were surveying me. He wanted to see what come in. I'm not in makeup. Okay, she's good.
Oh,
she's good. She's not shooting.
I can't imagine
But
how
I don't hate
awkward.
pastors and I'm not against them.
Yeah.
I think for me it was about doing what I wish someone would have done for me. Doing where somebody would listen. If somebody had listened to me, to my trauma, when I
your
was still
cry.
going through it, maybe I would have been saved somehow.
Okay, now we
That's
really
what we're
have to
doing.
Because I think we're never going to finish, but you didn't answer my question, my last
Yes.
question. So when you heard of the passing of TB Joshua,
Yeah.
what went through your mind?
I said FFFU to him because I felt that I've been telling the story about what it did to me while he was still alive, not when he's dead. Because most people think I spoke when they saw the BBC. Remember when BBC comes out? Some people it's the first time.
but
It's the
they
first
don't
time they're
know.
being introduced to Sihle Sibisi.
Yes,
But
they
I've been telling the story all my life.
And production takes time as well.
And
to
besides that,
shoot.
BBC sent him a letter. He knew they were doing a documentary. And they asked for his right of reply. He knew very well. So I was like, FFFU, but condolences to the wife because I know how it feels to be a widow. May God heal you. Be okay. But boom, after BBC documentary, the wife's response is she doesn't know any of us. All of us on that documentary, she doesn't know us. She's never seen us in the world. And she's still continuing with the church. So for me, it's, well, I've learned to accept an apology that I will never receive. Because if I'm going to keep the grudge and the hate against him, I'm going to die within myself.
Yes.
So I had to say, you know what? He's gone. FF him is dead. Yeah, thank you. But I'm accepting the apology that I'll never get from him because if I don't, I'll remain bitter. But to pastors, guys, I'm not against pastors. It's just I say, if you're doing naughty things, stop it. Because your
Gonna
people
catch
write to
them.
us. No,
But
they
have you
write to
forgiven
us.
him, though?
Have I forgiven TB Joshua? That's why I'm saying I've learned to
For that
accept an apology.
Yes, for
that
that
he-
apology never gave you.
that he never gave
So
me.
you can move on with your life.
Was there a little bit of remorse though? No.
For what? From
For
whom?
him.
From Temi Tokbe, from TB Joshua. What remorse? He's never acknowledged anything. Why do you think? If you watch the documentary, Angie was the first white South African there who stayed there. I was the second black South African who stayed there. None of us received an apology from him. When we finally met for the finale, all of us were like, even you, because this was the first time where we actually got to talk. And it was the first time where Bisola, she apologized to us to say, guys, I'm sorry I pimped you. I mean,
I was also-
even me. So we had to accept apologies. And that's why I say there is a God out there. The fact that I'm not HIV positive today, there is a God out there. There is traces of him. Through it all, he protected me. And he continues to protect me.
yes.
And I speak because I say silence is violence. And whether you believe me or you choose not to believe me,
It is well.
it happened to me, but it doesn't define me.
Drops mic, just like that.
Hey.
Drops mic moment.
Hi.
What? I thought I knew your story, but there's so many layers to it.
Yeah, there really
And I
is.
think TK's life
Legacy.
and legacy was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you had an entire decade, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful
It
blessing,
is.
like a mini you. Can you imagine? Such a big personality. So may her soul continue to rest in peace.
Yes.
And I love that you shared that dream where she said she is in a better place.
Oh,
it's a
man.
confirmation.
Oh.
That is a gift from God on its own. So you and your son can be rest assured that she's in a better place. And thank you for sharing that part of you.
Yes.
Because I cannot imagine the pain of losing a child. And
Yeah.
for you to share, to just celebrate her life like this is beautiful. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Sure.
she's awesome, guys. Please continue to support her. Continue to support her organization, her NGO.
All those many ones who put them
Watch
in the
the
description.
show.
She's doing so much.
And
All
it's
of them.
all one person who's doing all of this.
And I'll be walking the ramp.
now. Like you just continuing to live a life of purpose, and you're living your life in the fullest of abundance. And that for me is just God. It's like you are meant to be this person. And I'm so glad that you're not hiding in a cocoon somewhere, you know, and you're willing to share such painful moments and such traumas. People don't realize how much it takes to talk about. These are real events. As if feeling me, guys. I know it sounds like a movie, but this is real. But to sit and be vulnerable and be able to share this is absolutely incredible. Wish you nothing but the best. We continue to pray for you, and you are an entire book. You are more than just an entire book. Send Pam, show her some love in the comment section below, and we will see you on the next one.
Yes, for myself, Millicent.
And myself, Innocent.
And the international.
Yes.
Sibisi. And of course, our awesome crew is bye for now.
Bye for now.
I've been through the most, been through the most.